If your computer's going haywire, who you gonna call to fix those glitches? Not the Ghostbusters. They're MIA right now shooting a new movie. You're gonna call the Glitchbusters or the guy you know on the 10th floor in your apartment because someone knows how to fix this. And so Glitchbusters stuck on you. It's a really cool game. I love the setup. Apparently the story is it's a normal day on the net, so it sort of feels like a Wreck-It Ralph movie. And suddenly a virus outbreak messes up the end user's favorite YouTube channels and you can't access anything. So I think it just makes it so the data is inaccessible in the plot line of the game. And no one can freely surf the web anymore because everything's all glitchy and taken over by these like viruses outbreak. The game has a very unique and colorful style. I think that's like its strongest point probably. The art style really reminds me of like a 3D version of the Mr. Man and like Little Miss books. I'm not sure if that's what they intended from the 1970s and 80s. And if you are like a older gamer or aging gamer, you'll be like, hey, cool, this is like something from my childhood. The music's quite solid, although from the bits I heard, it wasn't particularly memorable, but it wasn't horrible. Just it was kind of okay in the moment, and I just couldn't tell you what it sounded like. The game is clearly inspired by Banjo-Kazooie. You could just tell right away, just from like, it's a 3D platformer shooter looter. So yeah, it really feels like Mega Man Legends or Banjo-Kazooie sort of meshed together. And the game's one of its biggest pros is the fact that it supports 1 to 4 players simultaneously, which is like unheard of. I can't remember the last game that was like a looter shooter like this for presumably all ages. I'm not sure what the rating of the game is, but so far it seems pretty G to me. And the controls are very solid and very easy to pick up. You just move with the WASD keys, and the mouse controls your camera, and you can sort of look around corners, and the character will sort of zoom out. If you get too close to the camera, you won't see the character, and you can just see from like a first-person perspective. Unlike those games, you can actually fling yourself around, sort of like a super jump with magnets, and then you know, fling yourself forwards. So in that way, it's kind of like, I guess, Banjo with Kazooie when they're, you know, doing all these tricks, the flips and stuff. You could, yeah. So as I said, it's like a looter shooter, 3D shoot 'em up. Regular price is $25.99, which to me seems fair because there's a lot of polish to this game, and the game is quite fun. And so far, it's just the beginning. It doesn't seem very challenging. Like, I think it got hit once or twice because I wasn't careful with the camera and like dodging. Actually, what I found was harder still was staying on the platforms because you misjudge your jumps sometimes. At least I did at first. So apparently, one of the cons is I've heard some people are losing their saves. I hope that didn't happen to me, but I didn't play for like hours and through the game. But I hope that's a unique issue for the computer setup, because that's a real bummer if you play a game and you can't save your progress. So maybe it's an issue with the computer's Steam Deck device, which I'm hoping. My biggest gripe though, and it's so obvious, I did mention the jumping and like accidentally jumping off the cliff because I misjudged like the distance from the camera angle. But yes, the camera is easily the biggest flaw in this game, and it usually is with the platformers. It was for Banjo-Kazooie because they let you manually turn the camera and you constantly have to adjust. And the same problem existed with Mario 64 back in 1996 in certain stages as well. So yeah, so you're kind of fighting the camera constantly to get the right angle so you can see all the enemies, see if any enemies are are hiding and you can't see them. So you have to adjust the camera to see them. Yeah, I feel like the camera in some ways is a greater threat to your survival than the enemies. The enemies seem pretty relaxed and not very difficult when they're marching towards you. It sounds like a minor gripe, but just constant so you can avoid jumping or death, avoid incoming enemies at certain points. It's a pretty big deal, and like instead of focusing on shooting and collecting the coins and stuff, you're then like adjust the camera, adjust the camera. I'm sure some people are okay with it, but I just found like that was the biggest gripe I had. Like everything's polished, everything looks cool, the music's decent, but just the camera, unfortunately, there is a way to orient the camera behind you, which is kind of like a solution, but anyways, so it also sounds like the game might be short. I don't know, I didn't have time to play through the whole game, and I didn't see anyone mention how long it is, but for $25, I mean, it's quite an experience. I can't think of anything else quite like this. The closest thing is again like Mega Man Legends, as I said, or playing the Destiny games, but that's not really family friendly like this is. But like it's pretty cool. For $25 you can play a looter shooter with your friends in a 3D game that looks cool like this one, and I think your character's customizable. I'm not sure, but I'd say it's a solid 9 out of 10. It's fun even playing solo on your own, which is unusual, even if you don't have a few buddies that can play with you at the time, and fighting the glitches. And it really feels like a spiritual successor to Mega Man Legends, and that came out a long time ago, and it's cool to finally see a game that tries to do what Mega Man Legends did, but you can play it with other people. That was, you know, that would be what I would like to see out of a Mega Man Legends 3, is multiple players, you know, Mega Man and his friends. But we got glitch busters, fortunately, and it's pretty cool. But just seeing this game, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, okay, I gotta pick this up, I gotta try it. The graphics look cool. It looks like classic 3D shooter looters from the past, from 10, 30, somewhere 25 years ago. Hopefully we get a sequel. I feel like we're kind of being spoiled with just one game that's kind of like Mega Man Legends, that came out of nowhere as far as I know, even though you have to adjust the camera and whatever. So I would say try it. This is my favorite game probably of this week. Definitely one of the coolest games I've played in weeks or months, so I'd say definitely try it out. Pick it up. It's on sale I think till tomorrow for $18 on Steam, but it's worth full price at $25. It seems like a steal. So anyways, keep on busting glitches, because busting makes me feel good. Keep on gaming. Bye.